Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to VidaneTV. Fast 1 late model action here at North Wilkesboro for the Farmyard 115. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. Showtime, Paul Strickland Jr. up here in the production truck, and alongside me, Ashton Reekie, the wingnut himself. Ashton, how we feeling tonight, brother?
We're feeling good. It's a little chilly down here, but the usual. We're inside, we're warm, and we're getting ready to do some racing.
100%. We'll take a look at the starting lineup as these drivers 2x2. You can see the pace truck already has those lights off. Little bit of a slim field here this evening, but this guy's putting on a heck of a show here in qualifying and in final practice. Tegan Atkins up on the pole. Riley McVetti in the outside of row number 1. Aiden Young going to roll off P3. JD Stockwell quick all season long. He's going to roll off P4. Luke Shannon and Kyler Davis going to be the first 6 drivers taking the green flag.
The next 6 right out behind them: Jason Prescott, Jesse Janes, Kyle Goodbout, Casey Beatti, Jarvis Sotile, and Carson Colby rounding out the top 12, and they're getting ready to come to green, Paul.
Indeed they are. You can see the rest of the field throughout the screen there. Race control going to take up shotgun on the field, and we are green. 17 drivers taking the green flag here at the virtual North Wilkesboro. This right here is going to be a barn burner. No pun intended.
It is, absolutely. It's one of those tracks that tight corners, and the cars like to slide right up to the wall. There's not much room coming off of the corners, so in 2 and 4, things get really tight. You won't see too much 3-wide action at a racetrack like this one, but a lot of history here at this racetrack, and the track has its own characteristics in this setting. The sun's out right now, and you'll see that it'll slowly go away as the night goes on, and these guys are going to get racier as the temperatures come down.
So beating and banging here at the North Wilkesboro Speedway, side by side for the lead. Riley McVetti down on the bottom side with that number 25 car. He's going to grab that spot. No, he's not. The 88 going to hold on for another lap. Tegan Atkins making it work in that middle groove.
Absolutely, making that outside momentum really work, and you'll see even McVetti's not all the way down at the bottom, not hugging that grass line. He's about, as I say that, he just clips it a little bit. As you can see, it shot him up the racetrack there. So something you got to keep an eye out at a track like this. That bottom curb, that bottom
Look
grass,
at that save.
A little bit of contact and into the wall. I know you said what a save, but he's going to drop all the way to the back. The green flag is still out. That was early action for the 69. Usually we see him up towards the front as the yellow flag will come out as they cross the line.
And they were still side by side for the lead, too. Riley McVetti going to hold on to the lead once they cross the stripe for the caution flag. First one of the night here on lap number 5. Going to tuck in behind the pace truck. Lights are on, and we're going to get an opportunity to just kind of sit down, catch our breath, and see how we're all doing. It's cold out there. It's cold. You're up in Halifax, Nova Scotia. It's cold there. I'm here in southern New England, in Connecticut, over by the casinos. The swamp is frozen. It is cold here. There's snow at almost every racetrack from here down south to Florida. It's just absolutely cold. So under these quick cautions, fire the coffee pot up, get you some hot cocoa, plug that heated blanket in, get it in, get us up on the big screen, and join us for the evening. 109 laps still here to go. We're going to try and heat things up. These guys have been putting on a heck of a show all season long here for us. 2 races to go after this, and we're going to be crowning ourselves a series champion. And Ashton, you and I have been talking. We've been talking for a couple of months about all the cool stuff that's on the go here for 2025 as far as VidaneTV, sim racing, real racing, a little bit of wrestling, maybe some reality fighting. We got a lot of stuff on the go here, and we're just getting more and more pumped up for it.
We are, and it's still all in the works. I know we've been talking about it, but a lot of puzzle pieces needs to line up for everything to come together. But we're slowly getting there. Things are moving in the background, and you mentioned the whole wrestling and the me getting into that scene that I've never been into before. So of course, you and I jump on here and we're able to reminisce about the Monday Night Raw and the Friday Night SmackDown and all the great stuff going on Netflix these days. It's becoming a whole new era, a whole new world that we're living in now as the lights go out on the truck and they get themselves in position. Riley McVetti's going to have the advantage here on the draw. He's going to be able to take take that green flag first and kind of set where he wants to take off. So we'll see how Tegan Atkins, who decided to take the bottom, or sorry, I should say Riley decided to take the top and take that line away from Tegan Atkins. So we're gonna have to see how the 88 fares on the bottom side.
Indeed, we are, and we've both said it multiple times at multiple racetracks, usually multiple times during the event. That high line is absolutely going to come in. Great shot there off of turn number 4, so we take the green flag, and as down there in turn 1 and 2 as well, there's marbles up on that high line. Riley McVeigh going to go up there and try, and you see how loose he gets up there. He's trying to clean that lane off for later on in the race and put a little bit of rubber down on the track. We might have had some modifieds or something here, putting down the virtual rubber balls. It makes it super slippery up on the top side, and you can see we're almost 3 wide for the lead here at North Wilkesboro.
I was just about to say you can't count out the 13 and the 17. The 13 of Luke Shannon and Kyle Goodbout, both always seem to be a threat in this race, as we see a little bit of internet connection issue there for Shannon. Usually that clears up as the evening goes on, but some great side-by-side action, and like you said, they keep looking like they're going to go 3 wide, as you can see on your screen now. The 45 kind of tucking in behind there, and I thought he was going to go below the one, very, very bright and shiny number 1 that we have not seen. A couple new paint schemes here this week.
Indeed it is. That's I believe that's Kyle Goodbout. Scored on the 0-17 on timing and scoring in that beautiful 1 car. That's a bright purple chrome rim. That is a gorgeous race car.
It's either that or Kyler Davis.
Could be Kyler. No, Kyler Davis is in this 6. Nope, wait, hang on. I got a post-it note for this. My goodness, I forgot all about it. Hang on, we got the post-it note for this. I got my coffee was resting on it. That's what it was. The 1 car is actually Kyler Davis. He messed up his screen from the race last night, so he'll be in the 1 car. So he had some issues. And speaking of issues, 25 car up into the outside wall. They're still beating and banging for the lead.
Yes, he had a little bit of help going around there. Tough luck for the 25. That was the 45 of Casey, I believe, got into him there. I'm not. It was a chain reaction. So it was a little bit of a side bump into the outside into the 25 that sent him out and around. Tough luck. He was running really good on that high side, like you said, kind of trying to clear out the 3rd lane and make it work. So hopefully he can work his way back up towards the front.
Almost like a double super kick from the Young Bucks from the pair of 45s up into the 25. Caution flag going to fly here with 100 laps to go. I'm not surprised, but I am very pleased with the racing and the show that these guys are putting on here tonight. We made mention a little bit of a slim field. That's not even a slim field. 17 cars is pretty strong for a late model feature, especially 115 lapper here at North Wilkesboro. But these guys are putting on a heck of a show here for us. And you can see that is the 23 car of Stephen Hodgson. He's going to come around, get 1 of his laps back as the free pass, putting him now 2 laps down, 15 cars on the lead lap. Last one right now being Riley McVeigh in that 25. Looks like he came down to get a little bit of that virtual sheet metal repaired, and I believe we'll get the 1 to go this time by is the 13 car of Luke Shannon. It's going to pick either the high side or the low side. Nope, looks like we still have ourselves a lap.
Yeah, they added an extra lap on here just to give the guys enough time to get themselves sorted out, just get the scoring sorted out. Not surprised to see the 13 of Luke Shannon out front. Don't count out the 17 of Kyle Goodbout. Of course, Casey in the 45, Beati, is coming through the field again. He doesn't always qualify well, but he always seems to be a contender at the end. So a couple names that we're used to seeing up there. Again, Jesse James having a great run early on in this race. Hopefully he can put the things together to get himself back out front. Last week he had a great opportunity and just the dice did not roll his way. 17 down to the bottom there. I think he was just trying to avoid any contact with the 13. Decided to go and check out if the grass was soft or if it was ready to be mowed.
Sure enough, got to let the maintenance crew that know that that's what's going on down there. They're probably going to be mad putting their tire marks down there in that beautiful green grass. But I digress. The pace truck, he's going to dip down to the safety of pit road, a 1 mow again. We're going to take that green flag. Luke Shannon, great jump on the inside. He's going to cross up after he crosses that start-finish line not really block, but mess up the air just a little bit between the 17 and the 88 as they're side by side now for second.
That's exactly it. You saw him move up into the top row to be able to arc that corner and be able to keep the car down on the bottom side. He seems to be pulling away a little bit as the guys behind him side by side not able to run the preferred line that they're always looking for. So he's got himself in a good position right now. He can kind of back it down and start saving. With still 95 laps to go, a long way to go in this race.
Indeed it is. You can see a little bit of breathing room now for the 13 car, but they are all over each other for that second, third, fourth position, and even back in the second half of the top 10, a little bit of a brawl fest back here. There's the 04 of Justin Prescott side by side with that cotton candy ride, that 17 of Jarvis Sawtile. Carson Colby right in behind there with a 14 car. They're side by side behind him. Riley McVetti using the outside to get up and around, or no, down on the bottom side. Just kidding. That's the 38 car of Tyler Cahoon up on the high side. JD Stockwell back here as well. There's a little bit of a contact between the 25 and the 38. They straighten it out. They keep it pointed in the right direction. We cross the stripe here with 92 laps to go.
That inside grass has bit a couple drivers a couple times, and you just saw it right there. That's exactly what happened. He was able to get down to the inside, but he clipped the apron and the grass on the way out of the corner, and that's what you saw. Get him loose up into the car above. So something again early on, I said that to keep an eye on that as these guys move down to the bottom lane. It looks like there's 3 lanes there, and then those 3 lanes disappear off the corners, and I'm just waiting to see a 3 wide coming out of the corners to see if it works.
Yeah, it's like having a couple of interstates almost merge into like one of those dirt tracks. Well, maybe not a dirt track or a single track or anything like that, but it's just, you're always there's no traffic anywhere until you get from 4 lanes down to 1, and that's almost like this racetrack here. I mean, you can even see there's 3 dotted lines all the way around. There's 4 lanes, and you're right. As they come out of the corner, they kind of merge into 1 or 2, maybe 1.5 lanes or so. 90 laps to go, and 17 car trying to make something happen up on that high side. You can see he's trying a little bit of a different apex, trying to catch back up to that 13 car, but man, Luke Shannon seems to be on rails here this evening.
Yeah, and I like the line that Kyle Goodbout is running. I don't want to say he's diamonding the corner, but look at how far the entry is compared to Luke Shannon. Then you look at how low he is coming off the corner as we go on board, the beautiful white gloves as we watch him enter 3 and 4. 3 and 4 different than 1 and 2, so right down on the bottom the whole way around the corner, but 1 and 2 is where you'll see him arc. There's Shannon going down into the corner, and he stays up about half a lane for a little bit and then dives down to the bottom, and he's getting the run off the bottom down the backstretch, also using the aero advantage too, being tucked in behind Luke Shannon.
There you can see closing right up to the back bumper, trying to turn that thing down to the bottom of the racetrack. He might have a shot. He does. He's going to take that shot in turn number 1. Not quite enough there. 13 pitches to 17 down just a little bit. That's scary with a connection issue just like that. You saw the 17 had to back out of it to make sure the 13 and the 17 didn't end up in the same spot on the racetrack, but the 17 of Goodbout might have something here. He backed up just a little bit. You can see he's starting to arc that corner in, diamond it like you said earlier. He's coming off the corners much lower than that 13 car is, but the caution flag here is going to fly.
Yeah, the only concern I have with that line, Paul, is that when he gets down onto the straightaway, he's not going to be able to arc the next corner like he has been. So he'll be stuck down on the bottom unless he can get a run on the outside line as we go back to the U-House Racing Designs replay.
We're going to back that up a couple of times here. We finally got the replay button working. It took us almost the entire season, but boy, oh boy, did we get it. And we got it backed up here. There you see a little bit of extracurricular activity between the 14 and the 17. That's why you saw us back it up just a little bit more. But there's the contact. 17 gets into the 14, gets him up into the wall. 14 just turns left. Turns left right into the 17. It's an unfortunate event when drivers get into each other on the racetrack, but that right there might have been the bonehead move of the race.
It very well may have been, and I think that was just a case of momentum on the 17's part, and I don't know if the 14 really realized what the situation may have been, but I think the 17 had the momentum. They both ran out of real estate, and I don't want to say the 14 fully retaliated, but you'll see on board here certainly that the 17's there. He tries to save it. You can see how loose he was off the corner. A little bit of contact with the wall, and then he just Yeah.
Yep.
I'll let the screen do the explaining on that one. I think we all saw that he didn't like the previous contact and made sure he took care of it.
And going to visit the crew down on pit road to get some of that sheet metal beaten on and banged on and straightened on out to see if we can get back out there and make up some points. Back up front, still that 13 car. Luke Shannon having a monster of a run here in that 13 car. Kyle Goodbout there in second. Casey Biotti in the 45 car. One of the 45 cars up in the top 10 here tonight. He's running in third. Kyler Davis in the 6 car, running 6th. Great run for Jesse James. He's running in 5th. Tegan Atkins, Justin Prescott, J.D. Stockwell, Scott Rockford, and Riley McVetti currently the top 10 as they run the 38 car. Tyler Hoon just on the outside looking in. He is in 11th. Aiden Young is in 12th. Jarvis Satile. Chris Darren going to round out the 14 cars on the lead lap, and the 14 car still on pit road trying to get some of that sheet metal banged on out. Looks like they're going to go down at least a lap here, potentially 2. As we get lined up 2 by 2 by 2 all the way through behind that pace truck who has turned those lights off. We're getting ready to come to the green flag.
Pace truck's going to dive on into the comfort of pit road as these guys are going to get the green flag. Great start again. Not as great of a jump for Luke Shannon this time, as it looks like Kyle Goodbout was able to time that almost perfectly, able to stay on his quarter panel at least through 1 and 2, but Luke Shannon able to get that run. And look at that great crossover move by Kyle to get down to the bottom where he wanted to be earlier on, and he's going to look like he's got it at the line. Yes, they're going to give it to Kyle Goodbout at the line, but they're still side by side going into 1.
What's wild to see, you're not even going to be able to see the paint and the stickers and the decals scraped off because they're both the same colors, just inverted. You might have 2 different shades of blue, but those guys putting on a whale of a show as they were door to door between the 13 and the 17. They get it sorted out. They were bumper to bumper for about a half a second. 13 car going back on the attack, going to take that shot down on the bottom side. Nothing quite there, but the rear quarter panel, they touch, they straighten it out. They're still side by side.
Paul, do they know there's still 77 laps to go? Like, they're racing like it's 5 to go.
They need to settle down. I'm out of breath. Holy cow, this is fantastic. There you see Biotti putting on a show down on the bottom side. He wants a piece of this pie. He's going to get up there and pass the 17 car almost with ease. The 17 was looking left. Biotti came right, hit him with a little 1-2. There he is, P2 for the 45 of Biotti.
It makes me wonder just the way the 17 has kind of backed out. If he said, you know what, I've done my homework. I know what line I need to run to be able to get out to the front. And then he kind of just, like you said, the 45 went by him on the bottom side, not with ease, but with ease. And then he just decided to turn around and say, true, I'll take that and I'll cross over and I'll take that position back and go back to hunting down Luke Shannon. But I think he's done his homework and he's kind of just backed off a little bit. And we'll keep an eye on the lap times, but it almost looks like he's kind of just settling in. 75 laps to go. He knows what to do when he needs to get to the front.
We can always tell when the drivers are watching our broadcast from inside their race cars, because you made mention that, hey, do these guys know there's 78, 79 laps to go? And then the front 3 sorted it back out, but then I guess they got bored, because here we go. We're side by side for the lead again.
Yeah, the 17 has a lot of momentum the way he's arcing those corners, and he's able to...
Oh,
he just gets into Shannon, who didn't...
Straighten him out.
Oh!
Big hits. Caution.
That is not what I expected. The way the 17 was running, he was already down on the bottom there inside, and it looked like just run out of real estate. I don't know if he slid up the track a little bit or whether the 13 of Shannon came down not realizing how tight that area was.
Yeah, we'll back it up on the tapes. I mean, we've seen these guys. They've been back and forth for about 30 laps, side by side, bumper to bumper, all over each other on the racetrack, putting on a show here. And you can see the 13 already loose because he was trying to drive in a little bit too low, I think, for his speed. And as he starts to check up, the 17 does not, kind of gets into the corner. You can see he tries to straighten him up right there, but unfortunately to no avail. 13 car of Luke Shannon, big hits up through the field, and we'll back that up one more time just to take a quick peek at it in full song, and just up into the crowd, and that could have been a whole lot worse. Only 2, McVetti in the 25 gets a piece of the action there as well, but man, tough break. You can see there's still a handful of drivers down on pit road getting some service, some involved, some not. Some are just coming down to get a set of tires, Hoosier tires, as a matter of fact, and some Sunoco race fuel. They're down and away.
Oh, they're not Goodyears this week?
They're not Goodyears this week. No, that's I don't even remember. It was Justin Kern when we did the Langley race for the Fast 1 late model. He's like, hey, these are late models. They run Hoosiers. You know, that's a good point. We've been saying Goodyears on these late models for 5 years now. So
yeah,
there's a lot of dollars in that jar. Maybe we'll be able to upgrade with the new 50 series graphics cards that were coming out. Oh, by the way, here at VidaneTV, we're looking for some sponsors. We want to do some hardware upgrades for 2025. Definitely slide in our DMs. They're always open. We got a lot of real estate that we can put your brand, your logo on, and make the people know as we entertain the masses here. It's a good way to be, especially with the bridging the gap between the sim racing and the real racing stuff. It's going to be a huge year. You and I have talked about it. We've kind of almost beaten it to death, but we got a race to run with 69 laps to go. Very nice. Lined up 2x2 behind the pace truck. Lights off. Getting ready to eat.
Front row back to the same Tegan Atkins, Casey Beatty, and Kyler Davis still kind of in the picture. He's kind of just been laying back there. Another one to talk about, Jesse Janes, making his way up into fourth again. Those two behind have kind of been quiet because everybody else has been stealing the show, but I feel like they're just saving. I feel like they're not on the go just yet, in saying that it might be go time now as they're about to get the green flag.
Pulling the trigger on the race cars. Great jump there for the 45 of Beatty. He's got a 2, 3, 4 car length lead now over the 88 of Tegan Atkins. Kyler Davis there as well. They're side by side back there, almost 4 wide in the second half of the top 10, beating and banging on each other. Second and third get sorted out. They're side by side here for fourth and fifth. The number 77 is Scott Rochford trying to break in to the top 5.
He is, and Jesse Janes on his outside there. That was a very close situation. Jesse wanted to come down to the bottom side, didn't realize the 77 was there. Thankfully, just a little bit of contact, and no harm, no foul. But behind them, the 38 turns sideways straight in front of the back of the field, and this looks like the yellow and black number 5 got the worst of that one there. Tough break. I believe that was Chris Terrian.
Yeah, that was a lot of bit of contact. We'll back that up. Well, we'll give it, there's the 3 wide. Everything looks good. The 5 slides up into the 38. The 38 gets into the back of the 25. Everything sorted that out.
Oh.
But as the 6.
A little hip check.
Yeah, a little hip check. Just give it a, these hips don't lie, or whatever Shakira said. These quarter panels don't lie.
There we go. These quarter panels don't lie.
We'll back that up one more time. We'll take a peek at it from the Goodyear blimp, and 5. Everything, they look good. Everybody looks good here. 25 right up on the wall. Couldn't go any further to the right. Coming into the corner here, there's the contact. 25 comes down into the 5. The 5 comes down into the 45. They get it fixed here, but then when the 5 car tries to regroup and tuck back in, Carl Lowe, there's the 13. Gets him a little bit squirrely and up into the 38. Fantastic shot from the blimp here tonight.
Absolutely, and that was the case of the running out of real estate coming out of the corners. I don't think the 13 meant any harm in that. He was just coming off the corner on the throttle and slowly just letting the car come up to the wall. I think he thought he was going to clear the 5, and the 5 didn't realize that that what was going on, and that the 13 needed some space. So just a tough break, and that's gonna put Casey Beatty on the point.
A little bit of damage up on the right front, but all in all, 45 car looks good for Beatty. More lawn damage back there in turns. Is that 3 and 4? Turns 1 and 2. The maintenance crew's gonna be so mad at us. Deacon Atkins still.
I would say we're just trying to assist them. I know they might not see it as assistance, but we're pre-checking for them.
You know, maybe he just finished a Gatorade or something, or a water bottle. He just wanted to throw it down there so we didn't get a debris caution later on. That's what it was.
Right. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
Doubling up 2x2 behind the pace truck. Lights off once again. Going to take the green flag here with 61 laps to go at the virtual North Wilkesboro Speedway. The 88 of Tegan Atkins down on the bottom side. Casey Beatty electing to take the top side here for the restart. Kyle Davis, Jesse Janes, and Riley McVetti, the top 5 for the restart. Heading on in to 3 and 4. these drivers know that we're getting close to that halfway marker, and usually the second half is a little bit more spicy than the first. It's been hot all race long. Green flag flies once again.
It has, and a crazy start by Beati as the 88 was kind of pushing up towards the wall into the marbles there as he was trying to get his preferred line on that restart. It didn't seem to pay off. The 45 of Casey just able to rocket out of there. But don't look now. Jesse James on that outside. He's making that outside work and slid up a little bit as I said that. But again, Luke Shannon, who was in a little bit of trouble early on with the guy that was on his inside right there, able to work his way back up. And then there was contact again, sliding Shannon up to the wall. But they get that sorted out and they keep it green. And Jesse James still working that outside on the outside of Kyler Davis, who's in the one car tonight. Very nice paint scheme. I know he said he made a mistake, but I think that paint scheme looks sharp.
Yeah, I dig it. Rocking the Rent a Race Car purple on there. My home team with Stafford at Stafford Motor Speedway here in Connecticut. And I have to chuckle here. Just looking at a couple of those drivers up in the top 5. These drivers, they have a basically like a message board that they kind of get together. They can talk, throughout the week before the race, just to see how everybody's, practice times are, getting together, running some laps, whatever it may be. The first 2 messages in that message board here tonight were between Tegan Atkins and Jesse James. And Tegan jumps in, he says, "Everybody ready for tonight?" And Jesse James in the 60 car, he says, "Yeah, I'm ready to get wrecked." But he's up here in the top 5, taking that 3rd position from our former leader, that 13 car.
He is, and he's working really hard. He's driving a little bit different line than what we see the other guys running in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, we've seen this high line before as Luke Shannon looks underneath him, but the momentum from Jesse James on that outside, as long as he can keep the momentum up, should keep him alongside him. But he lets up. You could see, a little bit of a how do you do there to Shannon. What a save by Luke Shannon. That has to be the save of the race right there. We'll make sure we save that one and maybe look back at that as he got a little bit of how do you do there from Jesse James and able to get it down in the grass, and what a save by Luke Shannon.
I'm going to need a water or something after this. I think these guys are putting on a whale of a show here for us. 55 laps to go that time by. It looks like the top 6, 7, 8, 9 cars or so have got it sorted out single file. 77 down low. McVetti in the 25 car trying to get back up into the top 10. He's in the top 10 trying to get into that first half. You can see tucks it back in. The 17 car gets a little bit sideways there. And up into the wall, they hold on to it. We keep it pointed in the right direction, steel green.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly who's been down pit road with all the with the yellows we've had and a little bit of calamity that we've had. I'm not sure who has tires and who doesn't, but nonetheless, these cars are going to get lighter. The back ends are going to get a little squirrelier, and the tires are going to go away from them. With only 52 laps to go in this race, things are starting to get into dire need. We've got our first long run here that we haven't seen in a while, so a little bit spaced out. But a little bit spaced out means also that these tires are getting hot. So that's where you see little Lou 17 around right in front of the field. Not sure if he might have had assistance. I know him and Luke Shannon were in contact earlier in this race, so possibly a little bit of assistance there by Luke Shannon as we go back to the U-House Racing Designs replay. And we see the 17 going into the corner. See him let off, and the 13 was off also. You saw the exhaust flame. That means he was off the gas, trying to stay off of him. Very light touch, barely got into him, but just enough to get the 17 sideways at the entrance of pit road.
Yeah, as hard as those guys have been racing up in the front, side by side, beating him back, I don't think there was any intention there. It's just one of those deals where 13 got in a little too hot to trot. The 17 might have been a little bit loose. We'll take a look at it in full song, but great call there with the exhaust off the gas, trying to make sure that he's off. And you can see he turns hard right to get around and make sure there's no additional damage. And, man, once again, great job by the rest of the drivers getting down and around this thing.
Especially in that position. I know you're already starting to arc up and work your way off the corner, but in saying that when there's a car sitting down there, sometimes he's not fully out of the way. So yes, a great job by the whole crew. Paul, I just saw the 45 go down into the grass. Are we missing something?
I don't know. We're gonna obviously we're gonna talk to the top 3 here later on once we get this thing in the back. We're gonna have to ask. Maybe they're stopping. They're selling peanuts or hot dogs or something down there.
I'm going to interrupt you here. Zachary Davidson, who's a weekly watcher, clearly can tell that I'm Canadian because he put in the chat, he went right by him on the oot side. So I'm from Canada. It's the outside, or oot side, as you guys believe we say it. And just a quick shout out to a close friend of mine, a good buddy of mine, Lasagna, or Michael Sparks, as he's known as, sim racer. Met him many years ago on the sim racing. He's also joined in tonight, watching from Calgary.
Heck yeah, gave us a follow over on the Twitch and the YouTube as well. I saw those clicks earlier on this week, and we're live on YouTube, live on Twitch, live on the X as well. Facebook was giving us some problems, taking a green flag here tonight. Be sure to follow us along on all the social media apps. We're on all of them, and we're still on TikTok after the 2-hour ban and all the political nonsense that was, but we won't get into that because we're racing here at the virtual North Wilkesboro, and we don't have time to talk politics because these guys are beating and banging on each other. They're scraping up against the wall, putting on a show here with 46 laps to go.
A little bit of action behind these guys as there's a pack of cars there. Oof. 3 wide, 4 wide, some contact, and there's one around.
Oh my goodness.
3, 4. Oh, McVetti got some air going down the backstretch. I'm not sure if he flipped it or if he just got a really good piece of air. I'm not exactly sure where that started, so we're going to go back to the U-House Racing Designs replay. It looks like the 17 and the 17, a little bit of contact. They try and sort it out, and it's not going to happen. Oh, it looks like those two sorted it out.
4 wide.
But 4 wide coming off the corner. That's where it's all going to come down.
Yeah, you can't really do 4 wide anywhere.
No,
they tried.
No, and they tried. They absolutely tried. And if it was a game of pinball, then they did a great job.
Yeah, I'm sure these guys sure do play a mean game of ping pong, or not ping pong. Pinball.
Well, ping pong too. Ping pong works too. There's a couple cars going back and forth between each other.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah, we'll take backed it up once again. There's the 17's getting into it. I just want to see how much air once again we get off the 25 car. Just incredible saves here. It's just 2, 3, 4 wrecks that didn't happen until it finally did happen. But great driving by these guys. There you see, there's the bump. There's another bump from Prescott.
Oh.
Way up into the oh man.
I believe I can fly. Anyways.
Yeah, he's going to, I think he's
I just feel like that would be playing in my head when I was there.
Oh no, we're flying through the air. Oh man, it looks like he might be down on pit road just having a cigarette after that flight.
It's a bird, it's a plane. Nope, it's McVetti.
Yeah, it's the 25 car. Oh, he's ready to rock and roll. Here we go. Captain, we're ready to launch.
We're laughing, but he has had the worst luck from being up front to dropping back to the back, and just seems to every time something happens, it's right in front of him.
Yeah, you can see some damage in the 25, damage in the 04 of Prescott as well. We take a peek back up front after some pit stops, which it looks like we might have missed because we were looking at that replay there. Scott Rochford's going to stay out, take the lead in the 77 car. J.D. Stockwell and second, Tyler Cahoon, Stephen Hodgson, and Luke Shannon in the 13 car back in the top 5 in fifth. And as it looks, those top 5 stayed out. Luke Shannon in the 13 came down 6 laps ago. Aiden Young in the 6th position came in 6 laps ago. Everybody else came in, it looks like, for fuel and potentially 2 tires. First guy with 4 tires is the 04 of Justin Prescott in 12th, but we saw he had a lot of damage. So lots of different strategies getting into this one, taking the green flag here with 41 laps to go.
Great even start right out of 4. I thought the 77 was going to get a bit more of a jump, but J.D. Stockwell able to keep up with him on the outside and really make that outside work. He's able to go to the front and take the lead as the 88 sideways off of 1 and 2, and he's going to collect a couple cars. Great job by Jesse James. He's just going to bring it to a stop and then get it going again.
Yeah, jumbling the field up with those pit stops. So you can see, I thought it was going to be the 23 and the 13 that got it sorted out, but there you see the 88 was involved, and there's the contact. 88, just little bit of a tap, loses the rear end, gets it almost sorted out, and almost on overcorrect with the bump. The 88 gets that bump, almost gets a little kind of a soft rollover, but once again, Jesse James getting not getting caught up in it, but having to pull over and at least take a good shot at it.
Yeah, he looks like he got up into the outside wall and maybe gave the 88 a little bit of a bump there, but thankfully, I don't think it's going to affect him too much as we see the 88 coming down pit road. He's going to get the virtual sheet metal taken a look at, maybe get some tires put on that thing, top her up with fuel, and get her back out there. Not a hard hit. Thankfully, on the restarts, they're all so bunched up and so close together that usually the hits aren't too hard unless you're getting hit from somebody way on back. That's built up the momentum. But quick stop, they quickly looked at that, and he's back out on the track. He'll tag the back of the field as they are getting ready to go double file.
Yeah, and you saw the 88 was parked in that P1 spot down there on pit road, qualified on the pole, and has been in the top two pretty much the entirety of this race. And an unfortunate track position, going to restart here in 8th after that pit stop. So back up front, new leader, 45, JD Stockwell. Scott Rochford in the 77, going to be in 2nd. Luke Shannon back into 3rd. Casey Biotti and Kyle Goodbout, the top 5, as lights still on top of the pace truck. Maybe somebody dropped one of those corn dog wrappers or something in turn 4.
See, he didn't go down to the grass to drop it was the problem.
You think they have poutine at North Wilkesboro?
I doubt it. Have you found poutine anywhere in the States since you've been here?
Maine has it. It's in Maine, but they don't do the cheese curds.
Okay,
so it's
Maine is
good.
practically Maine is our neighbor. That doesn't count.
Well, I mean, if the politics go the way they do, what happens if you guys become a state? Does the poutine stay good? Like, does our poutine trump your poutine?
No, it just means you guys finally get better poutines.
That'd be okay. I'd be cool with that.
Because then we could ship you guys the cheese without tariffs.
Yeah, that's a fact. Was tariff 25% starting? That's asinine. That's good. Sorry, we don't like talking about politics here. Sorry, we're back to racing. Green flag in the air. 3 wide for 2nd. My goodness gracious, these guys are putting on a heck of a show.
They are. Luke Shannon is on a mission trying to get back up to the front there as he's still 3 wide as he tried it early on the start and got kind of shuffled back, and then the 17 tried the same thing and he gets shuffled back a little bit as they're still 3 wide coming off the corners. They're making 3 wide work, but there's always a little bit of contact with either the wall or another car when it happens. So they were 3 wide coming out of 4 now.
They were just 3 wide in 3 different spots on the racetrack. This is insanity. 35 laps to go. The first half of this race went by in a flash as we're side by side for the lead. Biotti trying to take it away from the other 45 car. JD Stockwell up top.
45 squared out front there, and they're working hard on those positions. Both guys, as we get a new fast lap, Casey Biotti setting a fast lap with 34 laps to go. So you know he's been saving something as he gets himself a quick time. And just like that, he's going to take the lead, but quickly crossed over by JD Stockwell. JD Stockwell's going to battle him back on the inside.
I just want to make note that Casey Biotti ran that lap as he was side by side, but he just got beat because Goodbout there in 3rd ran a quicker time that last time by with a 5:66. 17 car on the move, trying to set his sights on that almost side by side battle once again for the lead. Little squirrely back in behind the 88. Great recovery for him. He's back to 4th, trying to take 3rd away from Goodbout.
He's got a great car and a great piece underneath him, so we're trying to work his way up front, and I think if he can get clear to the 77 as he does right there going into 1, he should be able to mount a charge towards the front as Casey Biotti setting a new quick time at 18.559, so he gets himself some clean air and gets himself back on the top of the board with a quick time.
Up to the outside wall for Goodbout. They get it sorted out, though. It's going to open the door, I think, for the 88 car. He's playing defense just a little bit, but when he gets off the corner, he's able to pull away by a couple of car lengths. Into the wall again, it sounded like, for Goodbout. Maybe struggling with the handling just a little bit, as you can see, really arcing that exit of the corner for the 17.
He's trying to tell the track that's been here for many, many years that it needs to be a little bit wider, but I think he's out of luck. I think this is the way it's going to stay, as it's been one of the most talked about racetracks. Used to be a NASCAR track, and you used to have the Truck Series and the now Xfinity Series there for many, many years, and they've turned to late models, and they host some of the biggest races in the country, I would say.
Yeah, for sure, and we're right on the cusp of the NASCAR season kicking off, as well as short track racing. It's already kind of been bubbling just a little bit here in the States. It's wild to say. I've actually had 2 real racing shows canceled for snow, and my mind's still, I know I'm still new to the TV industry and the racing industry, but it's hard to process the fact that a racing event got canceled by snow, especially in North Carolina.
So we had a couple years back, and I can't remember exactly what time of year it was, but it was clearly close enough to the end of the season that we were delayed an hour due to snow. And it certainly opened your eyes to how late we go racing. I think we were racing in October, and it was snowing, so we were delayed an hour just to get the sun to come up and try and get some heat into the racetrack.
Yeah, crazy times in the little side-by-side action. The front 7 or 8 are all single file for the most part. Jesse James in the 60 Vermont ride down on the bottom side, trying to get around Scott in the 77 car. They've been beating and banging and leaning on each other quite a bit, but keeping it pointed in the right direction and racing hard for that 8th position. Back up front, Biotti in that 45 car seems to have found a special line, or he's got a little bit of a higher entry there. He swings all the way up to that wall before he gets into the corner and swings down, diamonds it down to the bottom side. He's pulled away by over a second now, and you can see they're side by side for second. The 17 of Goodbout, easy enough for me to say, sliding on up in front of JD Stockwell in that 45. The 45 going to slide back down on the bottom side, try and take that spot back. Did you unplug the wireless? You got to plug the wireless and then push the button.
Nope, I was choking, so I shut my mic off.
Oh, well, that's even worse. Are you okay?
Yeah, I went to take a drink of water and it went down the wrong hole, so we're all good now. We recovered.
Well, that's good because we're expecting a big-time finish here. 20 laps to go here at the stripe at the virtual North Wilkesboro. 115 laps on the docket, and we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. You can take a peek. We're watching second, third, and fourth right now. They've got about a second and a 1.3 seconds now they're going to have to make up on Biotti if this thing goes green.
They've all kind of spread themselves out with 20 to go here. I'm not saying that it'd be cool to see a caution this late in the race, because I'm sure that the leader in the 45 and the 17, who's comfortably in second, and I know it's a good points night for him, so I'm sure neither of them want to see a yellow, but JD Stockwell, Tegan Atkins, Kyler Davis, and Luke Shannon, I'm sure would all benefit, or at least enjoy seeing a yellow this late in the race as these guys get single file. I do notice that Tegan Atkins is closing a little bit when he doesn't have internet issues. He is closing a little bit on the 45, but I don't think he'll be able to catch him. He's running a little bit higher line, almost right on that second or the first dotted line up from the bottom.
Yeah, those connection issues are tough, and seems to be getting a little bit worse for the 88 car, and it's tough when you're the drivers around someone having a connection issue, even with the driver that's having the connection issue, because when they disappear, you don't really know where they're going to reappear like that. So just like you've got the electrical demons in the real race car that you have to kind of chase down and follow, very similar to having Wi-Fi issues or internet issues in the sim racing world. So kind of bridging the gap just a little bit, crossing the stripe for Biotti, though. Going to be 15 laps to go here in this one.
Yeah, and he's kind of set sail now. He's able to run his line, running about 3/10 off of his fast time there that he set earlier on. But most of the drivers all in that kind of range, setting their fast times and then about 3/10 off. So not far off of the pace. Tegan Atkins is still kind of pressuring that fast time. But with the connection issues, his scoring is kind of glitching on him, as you see Kyler Davis down on the bottom of the 88 trying to make that pass.
Yeah, that's frustrating and nerve-wracking to race side by side with someone with the connection issue, because you can see they blink out, they blink back in, and Kyler Davis doing a great job just staying down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Oh, that was close there, and you can see a little bit of contact that time by the one car just really trying to get by, and Atkins holding on to the 88 car on the outside line, but it's frustrating when you got that connection issue.
Absolutely, and I've been in that position where you almost need to, and it's difficult to say, it's almost like you need to mentally tell yourself just to drive your own race, and whether he shows up there or not, just run your own race. But you really don't want to wreck the guy, and you don't want to ruin your own race.
Right, and it's frustrating for the 88 car as well, because he qualified on the pole and he had to restart. Don't forget, he restarted tail end of the lead lap just a few laps ago, and he's back into the top 5. So he knows he's got a quick car here, and he wants to get up on the podium, try and take over that lead, so he doesn't want to give it up too much. It looks like it's gotten all sorted out here as the blinking has indeed stopped. So great heads-up driving by both of these drivers to kind of work themselves through that and still stay side by side as we're less than 10 to go, 8 to go at the stripe.
Yeah, still side by side, and you can see that Kyler Davis is kind of using a bit more of the middle of the track and forcing the 88 to run a little bit higher. That's the disadvantage you have when you are on the top side of another car. You're kind of at will as to where he wants to run, and you can see Kyler Davis really did want to run up in the same line as the 88 as they swap positions. 88 back down to the bottom as he crosses him over. He's able to go to work now on the bottom side and try and get around the 1, aka the 6 of Kyler Davis.
Yeah, that 6 car that Davis rolls around in is nice, but I really like this 1 car. That's a sharp purple on that thing. A little mistake getting into the entry list. I guess they brought the wrong car. They put the wrong wrap on it back in the shop, but looking sharp. That chrome giving him the extra horsepower. Finally able to clear the 88. Pulls away by 2 car lengths or so. Going to try and set his sights now on J.D. Stockwell in that second 45 car. You can see up in front of him, and these top 3 have sifted themselves out. It's about a second and a half from J.D. Stockwell up to second. Racing Goodbout in the 17 car. He's scraping a lot of that decal off on the right-hand side on the front straightaway wall there as he crosses the start-finish line. I'm noticing there. He almost did it again there on the backstretch. But they're still chasing Biotti. Biotti's gone. He's a second and a half ahead of second place, coming up in the 14 car to put him a second lap down.
He is, and he's really on cruise control, but he hasn't really changed his line from where he was running all race long. I think it's simply just he timed it right. He was able to get the tires when he needed them and get the fuel when he needed it, and then it played out that it bounced him all the way back up towards the front. He did have to work his way up to the front earlier, as I said. He doesn't always qualify the best, but when you get him in a race situation in a long run, he's one of the best in the business.
Absolutely, and it's that time of the race to pick your favorite flavor. Popsicle sticks in the air, 2 laps to go for Casey Biotti, and he has all the time in the world. A second and a half back to the 17 car, who finally gets around the lap car of the 14. I don't think he's going to have enough time, though. White flag, white rag, final lap here in the Farmyard, 1:15 at North Wilkesboro. Ashton, take us home.
Biotti through 1 and 2, exiting 2, all the way up to the wall, as he's been doing time and time again. 115 laps in the books as he comes through 3 and 4. Casey Biotti is going to take home the victory tonight for the Fast1 Motorsports Late Model Nationals. The Farmyard 115 at North Wilkesboro. The number 45 is your winner.
And we're going to talk to our top 3 here momentarily as the 45 car going to take a victory lap, and I'm sure grab himself a bit of a burn up what's left of the tires on the 45. The 17 going to come up here and say hello as well. I love that these guys do this on Monday night. They all come up on the front straightaway and pose for the pictures, and it makes it really easy for you and I to get our interviews.
It does. I mean, we can just walk right down the stairs through the gate and right to the front stretch where they're sitting there waiting for us. Takes them a little bit longer to get out of the car when they're doing crazy donuts as Casey's doing, but the 17 already slowly working his way out of the car. The whole team gets to celebrate with them down there on the front stretch. I always love when the whole team can come out and be a part of it, because although the driver's done all the work all day long on pit road, the team is there helping out. And even in the shop, you know, it always seems to be races are won in the shop. You hear that many times, and you can't do it alone.
Yeah, absolutely. And spending more and more time at the real racetracks that I've done this year, I've been able to see that really firsthand. That the guys that you go to and from the racetrack with, you kind of go to battle with, you go to war with, and at the end of it, you get to celebrate as well. And we're going to get these guys lined up. I believe you have caught up with our winner, Biotti, and you're down there in victory lane with him.
I am. He's got the helmet off. He's got he's got the belts undone, and he's climbed out of the car. Casey, that one really worked out for you. You pitted at the right time. You got your tires when you needed them, and you ended up back out front. What did you see that whole race?
Most of the race was just managing tire. I knew Wilkesboro is a cheese grater and would burn up tires, so it was just managing and letting everybody else push harder than I was, so it'd be a little bit easier to get by them later in the run.
Absolutely, and we noticed a couple times that the 3 wide it works, but it gets really tight off the corners. Other than the cheese grater of the old pavement of a track, what does this track remind you of?
Honestly, nothing really else. Nothing really. It's kind of on its own out there. It's kind of an outlier with both corners being extremely different, running like the wide arc into one to the bottom, and then 3 right on the bottom. It's kind of in a league of its own.
Absolutely, and of course, on the race car, there's many sponsors and the people that help you out. Who do you gotta thank for getting you here?
Big shout out to RKM Setup Shop. They're the best setups on the sim. Ryan has made me a better driver on the sim and in real life. So huge shout out to him. CSV Motorsports, Creative Counters, Polson Lumber, Deegan Smith. He's helped me a bunch lately. And you guys for broadcasting this, VT New Hampshire for putting the league on.
Absolutely, congratulations on a big win tonight, and hopefully we'll see you back on the podium next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Paul, I believe you've caught up with another one of our drivers down there, and that would be our second place driver of Kyle Goodbout.
Indeed, I did. Kyle Goodbout finishing in the second position in that 17 car. Beating and banging on the 13 earlier on in the race, up and down throughout the field, and landing right here on the podium. Talk to us, man. What's going through your mind?
Yeah, I just want to first say that was a 13. I just drove in there too hard, got free, and got into him. Yeah, it was 100% on me. I got my race chat taken away in practice. I'm not really quite sure why. I didn't even get to say anything, but I would like to apologize to him. But, we came through the field a few times and ended up having a good run. Yeah,
we saw that you guys were up in the top 2, beating and banging, just door to door, bumper to bumper for what seemed like 30 or so laps. And we saw that little bit of an incident. Ashton did a great job pointing out the exhaust. You let off, you got around, just an unfortunate incident there. But great heads-up driving, and passed a lot of cars here tonight, and got a lot of sponsors on that car to get you to and from the racetrack. Who's out there helping you out?
My brother, Tyler, Mountain Maples, Hilton Electric, Woodstock Firewood, RSB Chassis, RCAM Setup Shop. Ryan, just like Casey said, he's helped me a lot on the sim. So thanks to him, and you guys putting this on, Kaysen, VT New Hampshire, and come back next week.
Absolutely. Great run here tonight. Celebrate that top 2 pretty hard.
Will do.
And Ashton, that's going to wrap things up for us. It looks like Kyler Davis has taken off. He's Ubered on out of the track, but solid run for that number 1 car. Great paint scheme on that 1 car. We'll see if the 6 wrap returns next week. That's going to be next Wednesday night for these guys. Tegan Atkins going to finish in 4th. Luke Shannon in the 13 car rebounding to 5th. JD Stockwell going to finish in 6th. Justin Prescott, Jesse James, Aiden Young, and Scott Rochford going to round out the top 10. We'll take a look at the second page there.
Absolutely, and right behind them, you got Tyler Kuhn, Stephen Hodgdon. Jesus, I get that one wrong every time. Chris Terry and Carson Colby, Jarvis Sotile, Riley McVetti, who had a very tough race, still ended up in 16th, so not too bad. Caleb Kramer, race control somehow beat out Bob Eldred.
Huh. That's interesting. Well, points on the board for race control. How about it? But a great race here. The North Wilkesboro Racetrack putting on another heck of a show here for us on VidaneTV. We're live tomorrow night when the Turn 4 podcast returns. They're going to be putting on a show here for us. NEP back Thursday night as well, and we're jam-packed all the way through the month of February here at VidaneTV. Thanks so much for tuning in here tonight. We'll catch you on the flip side, and when we do,
we'll be doing it live.